Hello and welcome. This video is here to serve as a guide to any new Arknights players following the end of the first season of the Arknights anime. To the unfamiliar, Arknights is a free-to-play strategy tower defense game, similar to titles like Plants vs Zombies or the Bloons series, except instead of plants or monkeys at your command, you get a lot of anime, and instead of fighting zombies or balloons, you also get anime. Assuming the game hasn't been downloaded, the initial download is about 1.7 gigabytes, followed by another 3000 megabytes after loading the game. Currently the game takes up about 6 gigabytes of storage, with this number increasing as updates occur. In this guide, two accounts are used, a main account of 2 years and a freshly made account. Which account is on screen is determined by the icons on top, to show what can be done early on and what is possible later. On the bottom there will be some room to name the song being played, all of it being the Arknights OST. So if the gameplay isn't for you, at least give the songs a listen. After finishing all the downloads, the option to link an account via email, Twitter or Facebook, or making a guest account is given. For this purpose, we'll start with a guest account. It is possible to link it with one of the other 3 options later if you like your account. Followed by deciding a name. It is possible to change it later, so no need to overthink it. And with that, you are welcomed to the world of Arknights. A lot of lore and tutorials are dropped at the very beginning to help new players get accustomed. Skipping ahead to the main menu, reaching here for the daily login rewards. On the top right, the time remaining for the next daily login is shown. When this time is for someone watching is hard to pinpoint exactly due to time zones, so the in-game time is a reliable way to know when the daily resets occur. Specially made for new players, a bonus login event for 7 consecutive days, beginner missions to claim, and another bonus login to get them up to speed. An important value here, your sanity. Arknights is a stamina-based game. The large number is how much you currently have, and the small number is the max. 1 unit of sanity recovers every 6 minutes, 10 per hour. Not having enough sanity to play a given stage forces you to wait, although that's not a problem early on. Clicking the operator button on the right opens the operator menu. Operators are the units owned and available to use. Clicking on a character's portrait reveals their stats in more detail. On the left, here are their 8 main stats, max HP being self-explanatory, how much an operator can take in damage before being defeated. Attack is divided into 3 categories: physical damage, arts damage, and healing power. Every operator and enemy uses their attack stat in this way. The higher the value, the more effective it is. Physical damage taken is lowered by the defense stat by a flat amount. Arts damage is the magic or special attack equivalent in other games. It completely ignores any defense, but resistance blocks a percentage of the damage instead. Healing power is used by medical operators. Higher value means stronger healing. The other 4 stats listed are the redeploy timer, DP cost, block count, and attack speed. Redeploy has no exact listed value, but most operators have one of about 60 seconds. Attack speed is also not listed, but faster attacks means operators use their attacks more often. DP cost is how expensive a unit is to place on the map. This range can be massive, some operators as low as 3 to the high 30s. Block is how many enemies an operator can hold back at the same time. Operators prioritize attacking the enemy they are blocking, even if they have the range to attack an entirely different enemy. Every operator has a block value listed, even if under normal gameplay, like range units, don't use it. With a fast rundown, what about getting more operators? Returning to the main menu, investigating anything that has a small orange glow near it, often a sign of reward or something new. On the top left, the in-game mail gives a lot of starting supplies for new players. Playing shortly after the anime aired nets some bonuses as a celebration. Other items include a senior operator transfer permit, a free 5-star operator, and an operator voucher, allowing one to take pick of one of 4 5-star operators listed. These 2 choices aren't restricted to a time limit, so using it now or holding on to it for later are both valid options. Some head-hunting parametric models, which will be explained later, and a large sum of 3800 Arundum, the summoning currency in Arknights, and coincidentally, it is enough to do a 10 roll on the starting banner. This banner is about 35% cheaper than a normal banner, which costs 600 for single summons and 6000 for 10 summons. Only in this starter banner is it recommended to do a full 10 summon for its low cost. On standard rotating banners, it is often recommended to only do single summons. New banners always guarantee 1 5-star or 6-star, but only in the first 10 rolls, and it can be obtained early, enabling the chance to get rare operators and save a rundom. Aside from summoning, recruitment is another method, with the use of a recruitment permit, a small sum of LMD, the in-game equivalent of money, and some time. Regular use results in a large number of free operators to obtain, although it does have its limits. It has a smaller pool of operators to take from, which updates infrequently, and normally only has 1 to 5-star operators. Which tags to pick can be self-explanatory, but not guaranteed for everyone. It is recommended to use websites dedicated to showing recruitment results if you wish to be efficient with it. But in short, there are 2 very important tags to remember: senior operator tags and top operator tags, for they guarantee 5 and 6 stars. In most cases, setting the timer to 9 hours is recommended to maximize the odds of a rare operator. 2-star operators are only available here when the time is set to 7.5 hours or lower. The same goes for 1-stars, but when the timer is set to 3 hours and 50 minutes or less. Back to an operator's stats, on the right there is a button that says potential. If duplicate operators are obtained, they turn into the respective operator's token, which are used to improve an operator's stats to make them stronger and easier to use. To the left is the operator's promotion. By default, all operators start at Elite 0. Once an operator reaches their level cap and has the ability to promote, you can increase their elite level by 1, resetting their level back to 1. It doesn't affect stats, instead it unlocks new passive abilities, new skills, and longer ranges, sometimes all at the same time. Speaking about their level, if you've played for a bit, you may have noticed that operators don't gain experience from battle, despite EXP getting rewarded from stages. That EXP is for the player themselves. Instead, operators have to be leveled manually using battle records. There are 4 types currently available: drill battle records worth 200 experience, frontline battle records worth 400 experience, tactical battle records worth 1000 experience, and strategic battle records worth 2000 experience. Only 40 can be given to an operator at a time, along with a small sum of LMD. No need to worry about being efficient. 10 drill battle records or 1 strategic battle record, both worth 2000 experience, use the same amount of LMD. Knowing how to read an operator's stats and increase them, it can easily be divided into 8 classes. The bottom left icon shows a quick summary of each. Vanguards help you gain deployment points faster. Guards have high physical DPS. Defenders have high HP, defense, and block count. Specialists are units that have abilities very different from every other class. Snipers are long-range physical DPS dealers. Casters are similar to snipers, but use arch damage instead. Medics are operators that heal other friendly operators. And supporters focus on buffing allies and debuffing enemies. All operators fall under one of these 8 classes. And within each class is a branch on the bottom right, as the game calls it, along with any talents or passive abilities an operator can know or can learn. Using Vanguards as an example, their role as a class is to get you more deployment points to deploy more operators faster. How they do that determines what branch they are. Charger Vanguards are aggressive, with the ability to grant 1 DP per enemy they defeat. Pioneer Vanguards are balanced in terms of defense and offense, giving you deployment points when their skill activates. Standard Bearer Vanguards are more supportive, giving a large amount of DP at a time, but any block they have while their skill is active is 0. How operators are referred to can vary between veteran players and the official names, as they were added rather recently. Some may call them by different names, but they still mean the same group of operators. Even 2 Vanguards of the same branch can differ enough in terms of stat, skills, and talent that any operator can be used by anyone, anywhere. Of course, being a gacha game, there will be some operators that are stronger than others. As referred to earlier, Arknights uses stars as a quick means to show an operator's power. Ranging from 1 star to 6 stars, an operator cannot change the rarity they're given. The differences can be rather easy to spot. 1 stars tend to be robotic operators with no skills, but useful talents to buff other friendly operators, and the ability to ignore deployment limits, although with a low level cap of 30. 2-star operators have no skills either, but with a talent that gives them each a unique niche with the same level cap of 30. 3-star operators are the easiest operators to obtain. All have 1 skill to use and are very dependable with a max level of Elite 1 level 55. 4-star operators are rarer and slightly stronger. All have 2 skills at their disposal with higher overall stats due to having a max level of Elite 2, level 70. 5-star operators are even stronger, with 2 skills to use and a level cap of Elite 2, level 80. One exception to the 5 stars is Amiya herself. She has access to 3 skills. And finally, 6-star operators are often very strong but also rather rare, having 3 skills to use and the highest level cap of Elite 2, level 90. Although early stages hardly need such power, it is good to know the difference between rarities. Skills, as mentioned earlier, are something most operators have. It is what they use in combat, and knowing what they do is just as important as how strong they can become. When reading skills, most have a little lightning symbol and a number under them. This is how long it takes for them to charge. How operators charge their skill is done in 3 ways. Auto recovery means their skills charge over time, how many seconds it takes until it's ready. Offensive recovery, each attack they make charges their skill and once it's full, can be activated. And defensive recovery, each attack the operator takes charges their skill. The power of the attack does not matter, only how many attacks they take until it's ready. Some skills have this play symbol followed by a number. That means their skill will be partially filled by the respective amount, allowing for the first activation to be slightly faster than normal. However, during battle, some operators might trigger their skills automatically, while some wait for your command. How an operator does this is also in 3 ways. Auto lets the ability activate as soon as it can once it's charged. Manual lets your operators hold their skill until you command them to. And passive skills. They disregard any recovery methods and activate as soon as the operator is on the field, expiring only if the skill says so. For an example, we'll use Operator Texas. In the tutorial, it is taught how to use skills, with Texas smiting enemies with swords. However, summoning Texas, you'll see her skill is not the same. Despite some operators being able to learn 2 or 3 skills, they can only take 1 skill for their entire map. One last thing to note is their duration, if they have one. A small clock with a timer in seconds is how long their corresponding effects will last. Once the effect ends, the operator starts recharging their skill to use it again. If there isn't a timer, that means the ability activates instantly. Assuming normal gameplay, it is safe to say an account has leveled up. Just like operators, players have their own level, gaining experience whenever you clear a stage that uses up sanity. Upon leveling up, you regain all your sanity back, added to your current total that can exceed your max, and sometimes gain more max sanity. Level ups are very fast early on, to the point that someone may overflow with sanity. Assuming there's a busy person that wishes to continue playing, but doesn't have the time, Arknights has the answer to that. If you clear your stage perfectly, using only your own operators, you unlock the ability to auto-deploy the stage. As the name implies, it automatically plays the stage for you, following your commands as precisely as possible and very reliable on early stages. Extremely difficult stages might give auto-deploy some trouble, but 99% of the time it can finish a stage just fine. A few level ups, clearing stages, and learning how to play, Arknights gradually opens up more features after clearing stage 0-10. Introducing the base located on the bottom right corner. The base is very important for making supplies over time, although limited at first. In order, power plants are used to power other facilities. Factories are used to make important items like pure gold for LMD or battle records to train operators. Trading posts use up any pure gold you have to gain 500 LMD per bar. Building up the base is a great way to get access to more resources, but it requires an operator working in certain facilities. Just make sure you swap operators in and out regularly, as they do get tired and need to recover in the dormitories. The last facility that can be built is the workshop, where various materials can be crafted for base building or building operators. Now's a good time to bring up other materials dropped while clearing stages. Operators often require these materials to promote or have stronger skills. Which material and how many of said material an operator needs isn't inherently obvious and differ greatly from each other. Although how big the base can get and what the facilities can and can't do is limited by story progress. Another feature opened is the store. Of course, being a free-to-play game, there are in-game purchases for real money, but there are important things for free-to-play players here too. The third tab, Packs. Here you can get an item that lets you change your name, although only once every 180 days. More importantly, once you reach certain levels, you can get free enhancement packs as a reward for playing. The fourth tab is the Outfit store. Using Arknight Prime, dropped from each stage when all enemies are defeated, are used here. Outfits are skins for operators, letting them look completely different in combat, in the base, and in the main menu. What skins are available are determined by the time of year. Due to the English version of Arknights being about 6 months behind from the main server, events are usually the opposite. For example, hot summer skins in the middle of winter, and warm winter gear for the summer months. Because of this, skins available can vary greatly, on top of new skins being added very often. So if you have an operator you like and want to give them a different look, here's where to go. Before I continue in the store, returning to an operator's look, operators that can reach Elite 2, so 4 stars and above, get new artwork once reaching Elite 2, looking more powerful in battle ready, although this doesn't change their in-game look. The exception again being Amiya. She gets 2 new artworks, one for reaching Elite 1 and another for reaching Elite 2. Among these skins, if you find one that stands out, or you have an operator that you like, you can go to the main menu, click the circular icon, and take your pick of your own operators and skins, along with any background and music changes if you've unlocked it. Returning to the store, the 5th tab is the certificate store. When summoning, you may notice something else with your newly received operator. These certificates are separated into 2, commendations and distinctions, green and yellow respectively. The green certificates are easier to obtain and give access to more common resources in low amounts, including free summons in the forms of headhunting permits, or random for summoning, and various materials. Buying all the items opens a 2nd store, and then a 3rd store for finishing the 2nd, although it does get very expensive. Besides the headhunting permit on the 2nd store, just clearing out the 1st store is enough. Do keep an eye on the bottom right. At the end of each month, the store restocks again, letting you buy out the store. Distinctions are the yellow certificates, containing rare materials, including the chance to straight up obtain an operator if you have enough. Personally, the best thing to get is the headhunting permits. If you have 258 yellow certificates, it gives you 38 free summons without using a random. Regardless of opinion, this store does hold some very rare and valuable items to pay attention to. The purchase certificate is another store that holds other rare goods, although for now, getting the currency is slow. Head-hunting parametric models is a rather rare currency, obtained by the in-game mail earlier and only available after limited unit banners. Here you can get a lot of materials, from some rather rare ones to very common ones. Convenient for early players as it can be hard to get some of the materials early on. The final tab is the intelligence certification. It is usually only for veteran players since the currency is only available during event reruns, so obtaining some may be out of grasp for a while. The furniture store is where you buy furniture for your base's dormitories to look different and be more efficient. And lastly, the credit store. With a diverse stock from more operators, battle records, recruitment permits, materials, and LMD, every day the shop changes and gives a small sum of credits to use, most of it based on how well your dormitories are built. Depending on what day you are playing, supply operation stages are now open after the base tutorial. Every day, tactical drill stages are open. Clearing these stages grants a small number of battle records, with the harder stages dropping better quality ones and more often. Cargo escort stages available on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays reward you with a nice sum of LMD, harder stages dropping more. Aerial threat stages available on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays drop skill summaries, important items to increase an operator's skill rank. Harder stages drop more of each level skill summaries. Resource search stages available on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays drop carbon sticks, carbon bricks, and carbon packs. Here's where you go to get the materials needed to craft building materials for base upgrades. And finally, tough siege stages available Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays are where the red purchase certificates are found to buy items from the store. What supplies to prioritize is up to your discretion. Want to level up operators? Tactical drills. Need money now because battle records cost money? Cargo escorts. Upgrade operator skills? Aerial threat. Want to upgrade your base to passively make LMD, battle records, and other items? Resource search. Want to use the certificate store? Tough siege. There is no right or wrong answer, just what is available, what you want, and what stages you can beat. On the right, these locked stages are used to get chips, as in microchips. Most operators need them to promote, but are locked away until more story progress is made. Skipping forward to stage 1-5, Annihilation is unlocked. Marathon stages that cost 25 sanity to attempt, and have you fight 400 enemies, with the reward of a rundum and battle records. Don't let that large number of enemies be intimidating, for if you fail, you get refunded sanity and given a rundum based on your results. For if you lose without defeating at least 100 enemies, you can get all your sanity back to try again or train up elsewhere. As you beat more enemies, you get less sanity back but are given more rundum in return. It isn't infinite though, you have a hard limit every week. In the Orundum menu on the bottom right, you see how long until the next weekly reset and how much Orundum you've obtained this week over the max number of Orundum you can get per week. It is possible to increase this limit. You simply have to beat certain Annihilation stages, with even more rewards for reaching certain milestones on every Annihilation map. Giving it a shot whenever possible is a good attempt, for Annihilation is one of the few stages in the game that does not require you to beat the stage perfectly to unlock auto-deploy, enabling you to farm without missing out on free summons every week. After clearing 110, Arknights grants access to most of the game. As touched on earlier, chip stages are important for some operators to promote. Often, normal class chips are used to promote the first time, while class chip packs or class dual chips are used for the second promotion. The easier stage is used to get the small chips. The harder stage drops the chip packs. But they are separated into 4 sets of stages that only appear on certain days. Caster and Sniper chips are available on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Guard and Supporter chips are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Medic and Defender chips for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Vanguard Supporter chips from Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Balancing use between the supply stages and the chip stages depend on what the player is prioritizing. The third type, dual chips, are not dropped normally. Instead, they need to be made in the base, requiring 2 chip packs of the same class and a chip catalyst, commonly bought with 90 purchase certificates or 15 distinctions. Despite the higher costs, the purchase certificates are easier for how hard distinctions can be to amass at times. In the base on a factory with the required chips allows dual chips to be made, often used by the much stronger operators for their second promotion. With a hopefully stronger team by this point, events of the past are slowly available to be experienced. Story, stages, and rewards. Although at a slow rate, once a week there is the option to get an event crystal, allowing you to open past events and be unlocked permanently. And a few will actually let you claim the operator of the events, furniture, and icons, although this requires beating the event completely. Most of what is useful to a new player comes to an end around here, with many things still left to discover. For if you are able to unlock and beat the stage of the events, it is safe to assume you've been playing for a while. And there's still a few things that can be talked about, such as contingency contract stages, short but very difficult stages that reward you for making it even more difficult, and integrated strategies, a roguelike game mode where you do not choose which operators you take. Instead, you're at the mercy of RNG and its various drops. These modes are rather fun and full of high quality resources to obtain, but keeping it vague, for I believe it is better to experience this. And that is most of what a new player can witness. From here, it's all up to whether or not to experience the game. As long as it's available, anyone can make the choice anytime.
There's still lots of work that needs to be done, Doctor. We can't afford to have you resting.